Greetings, Rabbi Box back with Parashat Shavua, Torah portion of the week. This week we are beginning the book of Leviticus, so we are in Parashat Vayikra, Leviticus 1:1 through 5:26. Vayikra is a book that is filled of sacrifices, all kinds of sacrifices, the laws regarding the sacrifices. And so we go from now, having ended the book of Exodus with the tabernacle being built, now we get to the responsibilities of the priests and the sacrifices and how all of that is supposed to happen. So the beginning is the olah, the burnt offering. And this is the one that we do in presence of it's part of our cattle. It's from the herd or from the flock, and it's to be made without blemish. And this is the first of the different sacrifices that we have. Then we have, if we go to chapter 2, we talk about when a person presents an offering of meal to the Eternal. The offering shall be of choice flour. The offerer shall pour oil upon it, frankincense, and so on and so forth. And so we have another kind of offering here. These are offerings of meal to these are mincha offerings. Mincha meaning afternoon, or mincha meaning meal in this case. And then we have the offering of well-being, sacrifice of well-being. This is the zevach shlamim, the sacrifice of well-being. So we have three different types of sacrifices so far. We have the olah, we have the mincha, and then we have the sacrifice of well-being, the zevach shlamim. And after we talk about these kinds of offerings, we then come to the purgation offering. And the purgation offering is in case someone incurs guilt. So if you've sinned, this is how you, one of the ways in which you are able to make up for the sin by bringing an offering of a particular kind of offering. And so chapter 4, I want to focus on this, begins with, the Eternal One spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the Israelite people thus. When a person unwittingly incurs guilt in regard to any of the Eternal's commandments about things not to be done, and does one of them, if it is the anointed priest who has incurred guilt, so that the blame falls upon the people, he shall offer for the sin of which he is guilty a bull of the herd without blemish as a purgation offering to the Eternal." Then it goes, if it is the community leadership of Israel that has erred, and the matter escapes the notice of the congregation, so that they do any of the things which by the Eternal's commandments ought not to be done, and they realize guilt, then when the sin is brought through the congregation and the guilt becomes known, this is how they are to bring their purgation offering. And then it's if in case it's a chieftain or if it's any person, and it really goes into great detail to describe the different kinds of purgation offerings. In chapter 5, we talk about if a person incurs guilt, a public imprecation, a person touches an impure thing, touches human impurity, when uttering an oath to for a bad or a good purpose. These are all different kinds of ways in which we incur guilt. And then the parsha ends with the following. The Eternal One spoke to Moses, saying, when a person sins and commits a trespass against the Eternal by dealing deceitfully with another in the matter of a deposit or a pledge, or through robbery, or by defrauding another, or by finding something lost and lying about it, if one swears falsely regarding any one of the various things that someone may do and sin thereby, when one has thus sinned and, realizing guilt, would restore either that which was gotten through robbery or fraud, or the entrusted deposit, or the lost thing that was found, or anything else about which one swore falsely, that person shall repay the principal amount and add a fifth part to it. One shall pay it to its owner upon realizing guilt. Then that person shall bring to the priest as a penalty to the Eternal a ram without blemish from the flock, or the equivalent, as a reparation offering. The priest shall make expiation before the Eternal on behalf of that person, who shall be forgiven for whatever was done to draw blame thereby. So we are hearing about the sins that we can be forgiven for and ways that we can bring different offerings to be given that forgiveness. And that is this week's Torah portion in a nutshell. I wish you an early Shabbat Shalom.